All right, we'll go ahead and open up with Luke Leichtman.
I never dreamed this day would come. My name is Earl, and I am 16 years old. The day that it happened, nobody was ready for it. When us kids got home, we were told that what was happening to those poor people. Nazis, led by a man named Hitler, were putting people who had different beliefs, different skin, or didn't agree with what they were doing into concentration camps, or were even arrested. Many other people were affected, such as Jehovah's Witnesses. About 10,000 were arrested, 2,000 were sent to camps, 1,200 died in custody, and 250 were executed. This is where it started and only got worse. September 1st, 1940, Journal 1. When we started to hear what was happening in Poland, we got really scared. There was people who were arrested, beaten, or even sent away and never seen again. The more I thought about it, the more I wanted to get sick. The thought of seeing all that suffering, if we only knew, we were next. The day that it started, then they started to get closer to our home. Our friends started to go and try to leave, so our parents decided to go and leave as well. We had relatives that weren't Jewish like us, so they offered to hide our family. Then it got really bad. We heard reports that there was an 8-year-old boy that watched his mother get shot right in front of him and saw a man have his legs cut off and die. Nobody should ever have to see their own mother get shot right before their eyes. September 25th, 1940, Journal 2. Today my father and brother were taken. He said that we had to be very careful, but I guess no matter how careful you can be, you can still mess up. They were sent to Auschwitz, and later that month my mother was arrested. She was coming back from town, even though she had fake documents that looked very real. It was hard staying hidden and taking care of 2 younger siblings, especially for a 16-year-old. As time passed, it got harder, thinking, what happened to my family, and not knowing if they were still alive or not. It really hurts when you want to help them, but you know deep down you can't if you don't want to end up like them. Right then we heard shouting from upstairs in German. I knew they were soldiers. I ran to my little sisters and got them hid under some blankets. The soldiers were coming down the stairs with their guns and with my uncle. They went past the secret door, but they knew something wasn't right. He was acting very suspicious. They took my uncle because they were convinced that he was hiding somebody. My little sisters were devastated when I had to tell them what happened. They kept asking, why didn't I help him? I knew if I made a noise, we would have been discovered and taken away, or even shot. We never heard from him again. Then we got reports that the U.S. and other countries were coming together to stop what was happening. The war finally ended on May 7th, 1945. My brother and father were both executed just weeks after they were arrested. After the war was over, we searched for our mother. It took a couple weeks, but we finally found her. She was nothing but skin and bones. But we got her back to health. When we heard that Hitler was dead, I have never been so relieved. The thought of the pain and sorrow and knowing it was all over just brought us relief and joy. Later, we got a journal that belonged to my father. After everything was over, it had been written in from when he was arrested. In his last journal, he was talking about how thankful he is for his family and how proud he was that I kept my younger siblings safe. Even though he wasn't going to be able to hide us ever again or to see us ever again, he wanted us to know that everything would be okay, and he loved us very much, even though he worked a lot and couldn't spend much time with us. After I got done reading his last words, I found myself crying nonstop. I wasn't that close to my father, but after reading this, I felt very close to him. I wish I could have told my brother and father how much I loved them both. May 23rd, 1945. As I look up, I see my grandkids in tears after hearing what happened to their family. Thank you.